Fuck, we just had a great little,
We did have a
a
pretty
great
great
little
conversation.
intro where we got deep into who we are.
Talked about film history. Well, we did
Yeah.
dox ourselves though. I don't think anybody's really gonna listen to this. Do you want to use your real name?
Yeah,
or?
I'm Ethan.
I'm
LaQuire.
Sam Robinson.
LaQ, LaQuay, LaQueer.
Yeah.
A lot of different ones.
Yeah.
Um,
Sean was calling you. He kind of went off on an Ethan LaQueer
did he?
joke tangent.
When was
yesterday.
that?
Yesterday, when we were waiting
was he
for the
saying?
film history, he was just talking about. He was saying, "Well, where's Ethan LaQueer?" And then I think in his mind he was like, "LaQueer."
Yeah, the Miller came
Yeah,
out.
the Miller came out in
Brandon
him,
used to
and
call
so
me that a lot.
yeah,
Oh,
this is great. I love how
getting
niche
deep.
this has already
Yeah,
become.
getting deep.
This is like,
No, I forgive you, Chon.
yeah, good for
You're
John.
you're my baby boy.
We were talking about though before we realized we weren't recording the resurgence of Canadian.
Yeah, because historically,
Historically, as funding goes up in a country, as does the national film identity, right? That's
Yeah.
what you're saying. Yeah.
and right now in Alberta, you're seeing
Yeah.
good chunk of that.
And also like BC.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that there's some in Ontario.
A lot of
that are-
film students
Yeah.
too.
I would love to see.
You know what's crazy though? That we're the first people to do this.
Yeah, I mean, this has never been done before. Oh, we didn't explain what the concept was because
It's the
That's
Critter
cut out.
Pit. Oh yeah, welcome to the Critter Pit.
Welcome to the Critter Pit. We're going to talk about movies.
Yeah,
Basically,
specifically.
yeah, Criterion
Mm-hmm.
releases. We're going to, I think, try and go through them in order. We're going to be there
We'll see.
forever.
We'll see.
I
We'll
think
see
though,
how it flows.
I like that, like,
Because I also do love the idea of film recommendations.
yeah, film recommendations, and then talking about kind of what we think
Mm-hmm.
is interesting in the film world right now. And
Oh yeah, this has already been very
yeah,
tangenty, which I like.
yeah, I don't
It
mind
feels
that at all. I
real
don't
and
feel-
raw, baby.
Yeah. Oh my God, my D&D character sheet got all fucked up.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
It's also a D&D podcast.
Yeah,
McDougal Jr., Strength 16.
we don't have enough knowledge of D&D
Yeah,
to talk about it
We're kind of noobs. We're actually pretty controversial in the
in the
D&D
D&D
world.
world. It's fun though.
It is
we make
fun. I
we
love
make Nick laugh. We're gonna have Nick on as a guest for sure.
Yeah.
I would love to just.
We're going to have a
make him
whole
watch
roster
A movie.
of
Yeah, regular
guests.
guests, but we're the two.
I hope
main
to have some of
hosts.
my own friends on just
I'd
to
love
spice it up.
I would love to
I
have
don't
some
think
of my
they
own friends on
would.
as well. My
They'd be
friends
like,
would definitely come on.
cringe podcast.
My friends.
I'm like, dude, how fun is a podcast?
Yeah.
Just talking. You feel so important holding this microphone.
yeah, we should do like we just call like a random person at the end of each episode and tell them,
Okay.
or like make them give a film recommendation. We just like
Dope.
we call them out of the blue.
Okay,
see
we'll,
if they
we'll,
pick up.
we'll call Michael at the end of this.
Okay, cool.
Because
Okay.
we're waiting on a very important
Yeah.
text right now.
Okay, yeah, we are very important
Dude,
text.
is
so
your charcoal just
if this, yeah,
raw dogging
oh,
out?
there's charcoal probably all over
That's
the
not
ground
good.
here.
You gotta take care
Yeah,
of
look
your.
at there's charcoal
Fuck.
there.
You gotta take care of the Thunderdome here, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Critterpit. How do we
so-
come upon that name?
Well, Criterion,
Criterion.
Critter,
Yeah.
and then we're in a little pit right now.
Yeah, we're a couple of critters too.
Yeah.
And I also think we should start all this like, enter the Critter Pit or like.
Yeah, we have
crawl
like a
into the
theme
Critter
song. Well, we
Pit.
left a lot of space in the beginning of
Yeah.
this recording
so
for.
that's gonna be.
There's a lot of
I'm
dead
thinking
air.
Rob that one time showed us a lot of his music.
I mean, Elijah.
Elia.
Yeah,
Or-
Elijah.
Don't. Cut that out. Elijah.
Elijah. But there's a lot of really good musicians in the program.
Yeah.
Even that one screening that we saw, Kalen did a really good score for.
Did he do the score or did
Yeah.
he just pick it? He did the score.
Oh, I was told he did the score, but I'm not sure if he actually did.
Crazy. Yeah, that's crazy because I don't like music.
Yeah, Ethan hates music famously.
It's a pretty lower art form.
Yeah, it's just there to enhance the
It's there
media.
for movies.
And speaking of movies,
Speaking of movies,
The Grand Illusion. What did you think of it? We watched this movie like what, 4 weeks ago now?
Yeah, we watched it 3 weeks
3
ago.
weeks ago.
We had the idea for this podcast like a month and a half ago.
Yeah, and
But
we
here
just
we are.
waited. It's
Life
good.
is a journey.
I like the setup though as well. I don't know
I
why it
love
feels
this.
kind of podcasty. Not
I feel like
exactly
I'm,
facing
I
each
feel
other.
like
but
I'm
also,
Joe and you're Alex right now.
Yeah?
Joe Rogan, Alex Jones.
I like being Alex Jones.
Do your best Alex Jones impression.
Okay, you have to do your Joe Rogan as
So,
yours.
dude, there's this video of just this gorilla tearing a deer apart. It's like, it was crazy.
Turns the frickin' frogs gay.
That's just what they're saying, dude. Jamie, pull that up.
Oh, you like the Nazi uniforms? You mean?
Yeah.
That
was great.
That was
Keep
great.
that
That was a
in.
little tangent. keep that.
Okay. Grand
Um,
Illusion.
Grand Illusion. What
Watched
are your
this a
general
bit ago.
thoughts? Can you give me a plot synopsis? What do you think it was
Okay.
about?
So it's about a man who gets downed during World War One. World War One. That's a very important part of this
It is
film.
World War One, but it was made in 1937.
34, which is
34. Okay.
must be, which I think is one of the most interesting things about the film is just the context it was made
Yes, right before World War II.
because it's cheeky.
I wrote down here in my notes 1937.
Okay. Plot synopsis, though. You do
Yeah,
a plot
sorry.
synopsis while I fact check.
Plot synopsis. There's a guy gets gunned down, but he's like an officer, I think. And then he has dinner with the Germans,
Yeah.
and this one German comes in and he's like,
Darth
"Hey,
Vader.
we." And then
Whoa,
he gets
we're
shot.
back.
He gets shot, or no, he doesn't get shot.
Technical difficulties.
A German. We're gonna keep an eye on this now.
Yeah.
A German comes in with like a banner saying, not a banner, it's a wreath. That's like, oh, we shot down the Germans, or the.
It's very polite.
It's so polite.
It's
Everyone's
too
so
polite.
polite in this movie. The French guy gets sent to a prisoner of war camp. They try to escape. Gets into another camp, and then
A lot
they
of camps.
escape.
A lot of boy camps.
Yeah. So and then that's where I think we
Yeah.
left off.
It's I don't know, the thing that I found most interesting going into this was just the mood. Looking at that poster, very dramatic poster.
Very dramatic.
Great poster. Very striking reds.
You'd think it would be like a harsh.
I was expecting some dark stuff.
Me too.
I was expecting the tone to be very dark,
Yeah.
very bleak.
So I have two questions, and it's weird because I feel like you can approach this movie in like opposite ways. Is this movie propaganda or is it satire?
I never even considered satire or propaganda.
It feels like
I don't
satire
think it's
to
either,
me. It feels like a
honestly.
satire to me though, because it's like we went to camp and then we all had a swimmingly good time.
It's so
and,
cheeky.
and it's like because they're all like the officers, they're all like rich and like
There's-
and like even though they're in the like camp, they're still looking down on other prisoners.
Okay.
Like I
Yeah.
found that to be really interesting.
Interesting. I didn't even look at
And
it
then
from that
from
angle.
like a propaganda angle where it's like France is preparing for war basically at this point, right? Like
Yeah.
1937. They're like, and they're like, okay, so even if you do get captured, like you're still having a fun time,
Interesting.
right? So
I don't think
thought
it
of
is
as
that
kind of-
angle.
What did you think of it?
I thought it was just going for something very specific, I guess. I
It's
think it
so
was
weird,
trying
though.
to-
It's like
What I was thinking about while watching it was just, I think it was trying to comment, you're seeing the rise of Nazi Germany at the time, right? It was made, right? 37.
yeah,
So I think it was kind of just trying to like parallel it, I guess, in a weird
but
way.
the Germans were so
Yeah, by
kind.
showing like a contrast of
To
like,
what
what
they
they
were.
were to what they're becoming, to what
Oh,
war
okay.
was, kind of.
okay.
Which, still a brutal war, and the film points that out. It just doesn't have violence, really.
It doesn't have any, and it
Like
I don't know,
one
there's just, like,
moment of violence. It's weird.
It also makes me think of
Did you
it's
think?
gonna be hard not to compare this movie to that Kubrick movie.
Oh, Paths of Glory.
Because it's also about French officers.
In World War One, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like a completely different view of French officers. And one of the
Yeah.
officers are in Paths of Glory. They're like super narcissistic, like
Yeah, they're
terrible
the
people.
worst.
But in this one, they're all like
Everyone.
good, but they're
Everyone
like
is.
they're still office. Like it's weird.
know.
I don't know. I had a hard time like really engaging.
Did you think
with,
the
like,
film
what this movie
was
was.
effective?
I don't know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Is like
It was so cheeky.
it's so cheeky.
Like even their escape is like, I don't know.
One guy gets shot.
One guy gets shot.
What do you think of the end? I forgot to talk about
They
the
get
end
into
in my-
Switzerland.
They
I
get
think
into Switzerland, and he has like a relationship with.
I know, and then they start shooting at them, and they're like, "Oh,
We're,
they're in Switzerland."
yeah, we have to stop.
Which I think is supposed to point out like the absurdity of it all.
Yeah, I
Just
think so.
national lines, and it's
It's a completely arbitrary line.
because like it's the war message that you see in every war movie. War is absurd.
Mhm.
War has no point. This is just what I got from Letterboxd reviews.
But does it even like? It doesn't feel like it comments on war enough for that. It's just like
Interesting.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I think
don't know.
there's
Is it-
something to be mined there, just about like relations between people,
Mhm.
especially in war, because you see the main group, they're treated so well by their captors,
So well.
but then they're a little racist, because there's that one scene in
do.
the second prison where you have the black guy,
Mhm.
and they turn their back on him.
Yeah.
So I think it's speaking on just
Well,
the subtle relationships between
and
between people.
I think in that second person as well,
bit of
they talk about
anti-Semitism, I think, also
1930s
against the guy.
and also I was gonna say I don't remember specifically one, but I think in the second prison they talk
Mhm.
about how each country is treated differently. Like there's like
Interesting.
rankings.
Yeah.
I think France was pretty high up there because it's
Mm.
like right beside Germany,
Yeah.
right? Like it's
And also, a thing to notice is the camp is an officer's camp, I read.
It
So that
is.
wasn't like a general population
Okay.
thing,
I thought
which
I
definitely
saw that there. Oh, because there are people getting trained underneath them, right? Like it was, or something.
Yeah.
There was a whole bunch of other soldiers.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like a boys' camp. That first one
It
is
feels
a
like a
boys'
boys'
camp.
camp.
You
Like
have
they're all
that
together.
super cheeky theater kid.
Yeah.
He's a theater kid through and through.
Yes.
The guy who's like just so he's so theatrical.
He
I have
is.
to say it. He's so theatrical.
He is so. Ethan LeCue is often made fun of because he is a very theatrical director in his own projects. It's just a thing to note, I think. Important note for the podcast.
I'm going on strike. But no, I like that guy. I felt a kindred to him.
Yeah,
No, but like
I like the characters.
the
like-
cross-dressing sequence that came out of nowhere.
Didn't they kind of tease it a little bit
When they
were
go
like-
just crazy for the outfits and they're like throwing them on their one buddy.
Yeah, because they talk about how it's like you're allowed to get everything except for clothes, and
Yeah.
then they get dresses.
Yeah, and they're like shipping food in, and the rich Jewish
They're not just
man-
shipping food in; they're shipping like everything. Like
yeah, I like that though. How the one like it played against expectations and stereotypes, especially for like 37. Like the Jewish guy is very important actually for a film of this time
But
to not be
he's
anti-Semitic.
still like he's like
No, but
the-
he's like he's giving. He's not greedy.
He is
at
giving,
all. He's
yes.
very charitable and he shares with people and
Yeah.
he's very kind, which I think is a very great
it's a
thing.
good message. Yeah,
Because I read Goebbels hated this movie. He declared this movie public enemy #1,
really,
which I'm like, it's a
it shows Germany
yeah,
quite a positive light.
yeah. I don't know. I feel like, dude, there's probably more important movies on your radar,
Yeah.
but sure. It was a very effective film, and
Goebbels
apparently it
has
was
an
lost for a
interesting-
long time.
Really,
A lot of films were because Germany.
it doesn't.
got
I mean,
Paris.
I don't know. I didn't look into the history of it a lot.
Mhm.
But it doesn't feel like there's like missing things or anything. Like it was
no,
just
it
lost
felt pretty
completed though.
cohesive.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was just found, I guess,
Okay.
one day.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Especially if it was like enemy #1, you think
Mhm.
that they would try pretty hard to get rid of that.
Apparently it was for a long time. You just couldn't find it. But
Yeah.
this is also like 3 weeks ago research on IMDb
Yeah,
trivia.
that's
So
the thing is
take
we're
this
a
with
little
a grain of salt.
probably for the next one that we do. We'll do it more closely
Samurai?
after. That'll be fun.
That'll
See,
be
that'll
hype.
be a fun one.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
Unlike this one.
Unlike this one where it's like it's a movie that
Boo.
yeah.
No, I liked it though.
What would you rate it? Because I
I
didn't
think
give
I had
it
it
a
at a
rating yet.
7 or an 8.
A 7?
Probably a 7. Which
yeah,
I think
I
is
was-
a very fair rating.
Yeah, I think a
I feel
7
like
out of 10.
It's a weird thing, but it just feels like sacrilegious to give this film like a 6 or
Why?
something.
Because it's
Because it's
Number
like one of
one?
the greats, you know. It's Grand Illusion, but it's like sometimes it
I had
just
never
doesn't.
heard of this movie before.
It just doesn't connect.
we
with
decided to do this.
You know, I liked it. Didn't connect with me.
It didn't really connect with me either, and I think I should have done research into it to see if it was
Yeah.
propaganda or like I don't know to
I don't
see
think
what it was.
I don't think it was.
Yeah, I don't know. It just
But
it,
that's an interesting way to
felt-
look at it. That makes me rethink a lot
Yeah.
of that movie. But I really don't think it was that.
no.
Which it would be crazy. Such a smart move to like.
That's what I'm thinking, right? Because
But
it's
I don't
like it's
Jean,
talking about-
Jean Reno. He seems like an auteur who is just making movies for himself.
Yes.
I'd be shocked if he was making French military propaganda. I'd be fucking dumbfounded.
I mean, like, there's a lot of great
Yeah?
directors that make
But he's
propaganda
French,
films.
You know, he's artistic. It's
Yeah.
all about the auteur.
Yes,
you
that's
know?
true.
I
But
don't
this
know.
is like, this is kind of a weird.
And-
we should have looked into this era of French movies because this is
Yeah.
like it's like after
Well, we're
the
kind of
avant.
film historians at this point.
I know, but it's after avant-garde, like crazy shit,
surrealism.
surrealism,
Was-
but
when was that?
before
That was
New Wave.
20s? The
Yeah, it
Louis
was
Vuitton,
20s.
Like Un Chien
Yeah,
Andalou.
yeah.
Okay.
So this is like just a pretty straightforward narrative,
Mm.
which is, I
We
mean,
could
at least
honestly
what
build
I
on
think
this
of
on
it.
The next cast, we could like add.
Yeah,
more.
uncommon within
Yeah.
French, like
I will.
because we did
say,
take we're taking film history right now. We just
We're
skipped over
pretty-
this era in France.
Yeah.
They were just like,
we might have mentioned it. It might have been one of the classes you missed.
yeah, I missed a month of that class
That's crazy. I didn't even realize you were gone.
because 8 a.m. class,
It
nobody's
is
there.
an 8 a.m. class, but I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I really like Darth Vader in this, or the Darth Vader guy. He was sick. The villain,
I don't even remember a villain.
really, with the neck brace.
Oh right.
That guy was awesome.
Oh, see, that was another thing. I thought that was funny. Like it
He
it
just
reminded me of
off-screen gets all these like.
yeah. He like comes in and he's like been like injured in the
he
most
looks
like
so
horrific
sick, though.
way.
He looks.
He has
so
like
sick.
every possible injury.
Mhm.
I think I wrote something about that.
I love the
Um,
costume and I love the look he has. He has like a monocle and everything.
yeah,
And he's such a nice guy. He's a little like anti-Semitic, I think, but other than that, he's a
Yeah.
sweetheart.
I just wrote about it's merely a flesh wound. Like it reminded me of the like
Yeah,
Black Knight,
I
where
get
it's
that.
like he comes in and he's got like it's like
Oh man,
comical how many injuries he
he
has.
got completely burned
Which also kind
to
of
a
makes me
crisp.
feel like it's like satire, where it's like it's so
Interesting.
over the top in
Mm.
that way, right? Where
We'll
it's
just have to ask the viewers at home.
yeah. What do you
What do
guys
you
think?
think? Hey guys.
Hey,
Oh hi.
oh
Oh hi
hi,
everybody. We're not talking to
create
ourselves.
no, we're
But no,
not.
I like that guy. I really like the camaraderie he had with his cousin, I believe it was.
Hmm.
Believe they were cousins. Or he knew his cousin.
Yeah,
Something like that. But I love their connection of just they were like aristocracy. Is that
mm-hmm.
how you say that?
No,
Ar-
yeah, aristocrats.
Aristocrats, you know.
Yeah,
They were the old blood.
yeah,
Because I just love that historical context. World War One was like the creaking and groaning of old empires crashing into each other.
yeah.
And I just love that guy.
Everything coming down.
The French guy, he's like, that's how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
That's life. And then the German guy is like clinging on to it. He's like, damn.
Yeah.
And I just love that. I
You
just
don't
love
want
that
it to go
simple
away.
dialogue between those guys. Those are
Yeah.
the parts I just really got into.
And I mean, as well, building on that, right?
Mhm.
It helps that the German guy is covered in like bandages
Yeah.
and casts,
And
like,
I
and
also
he represents the empire,
Oh.
right? Because that's a good parallel.
he does look like he would be an empirical German man. It's
He does.
perfect.
Yeah.
And also this will be a great connection to Seven Samurai next week. They talk about like wanting to die in battle.
Yeah.
Dying, like they've lived too long,
Yeah.
Like the end of Seven Samurai. Have you seen it?
I've seen Seven Samurai.
Okay,
yeah.
good. How in the end
You're
he's like,
spoiling next week's podcast.
Yeah, but
You're
he's
just
like-
talking about.
he's like, we should have died in battle. We're too old. And in this, you see that German guy. He's like, what are we still doing here?
Yep.
I should
Waiting for World War II, dude.
I should have died in
You're
that
waiting to become
battle,
a
but
Nazi.
here I am, a burnt up shell of a man in a castle.
Truly a shell. Of
That
a man.
castle is sick, though.
Yes,
I love that set.
It's such a. I love how they just get like a
Film
tour of the prison.
Looks great.
Yes, it does.
Looks great.
It's got some nice
Mhm.
cinematography. I like
Yeah.
how they just have a snowball fight. That's
Yeah,
nice.
it's so sweet, isn't it?
It is.
Uh,
That's another thing that I'm like, it's so
they're
weird.
so
It's
chummy.
they're so chummy that like everyone is so like nice and
Like, what's the bleakest this film gets? Is it when he's in solitary confinement? Even then,
but
the
he's
German
not even there for
officer
that long. Like,
comes in and like
Yeah.
comforts him.
yeah,
It's like Shawshank's more bloody than this,
yeah.
It's weird, but I guess it just completely defied my expectations.
It did as well for me as well. I thought this would be more like A Man Escaped, where
I haven't
it's
seen
like in that movie, it's just like all this like very careful, like very elaborate planning, and you have to
Mhm.
like the guards are really like
it. Okay,
super villain.
that's what I thought it was gonna
right.
be.
Yeah, I thought it would be
Something like that.
So it did defy my expectations, and I haven't seen a movie like this before.
I saw
but
a
it
lot of praise for it. Just
felt
as
like
like,
it- Like I don't know.
it's like subtle. It's like a little more sophisticated because it doesn't rely on like shock value at all. But then I'm like,
Yeah, it doesn't rely on shock value.
where's
But
its teeth?
yeah, it's like
Has no punch.
It's
I
just
guess it's like if
it's
I'm
like
wine
gums.
swirling.
it's
I
like
guess.
I mean it's like if you're getting chewed by gums,
I
you're
think-
like I guess there's like something there, but it's like not.
I could get a lot
Pressing.
more out of this on a rewatch for sure.
I think so too, but I don't
But I
want
don't
to
think-
rewatch it.
No, no. Maybe on round 2 once we burn through the whole collection and we're
In
back
like
at Critterpit
100
Pit
years.
2.
Critterpit 2, we're back
Yeah.
to the Grand
Um,
Illusion.
The Grand Illusion. The Grand Illusion was that this was a war film. It's barely a war film.
No. Yeah.
It
What do you think
feels-
about the part where I think it's before they're in Switzerland, but when they're like in the person's house?
Yeah, that whole section. I kind of liked it though. There was like a
as
communication
well.
barrier. I love the
I thought
scenes.
that was probably the most like
Like,
interesting in
that
terms
scene in the first prison when he runs up to the Englishman who is gonna get like executed. Oh no, he's moving into the prison. I think because they're moving out.
Yeah.
He's like, "There's a tunnel. There's a
of
tunnel."
yeah, he's trying to
even
tell
though
him.
he's yelling it,
It-
and there's a
because-
German officer right there, and it's like, dude.
And it's not because he necessarily cares that that the English guy escapes. It's like
Yeah.
it's like we worked on this for a long time. Like
Yeah.
I want at least someone to
Yeah.
like use it. Right?
Ugh.
It's like
I thought the theater
They're
kid was
tying
gonna
their
die
shoes.
when he's in that tunnel for a while, suffocating.
Yeah,
before they pull him out.
yeah. But no, he's
that
just
felt like the
fine.
darkest it got.
Probably
Even though as soon as he comes out, he just chugs some whiskey.
yeah,
You know,
because they just have that in their
I
prisoner
know,
of war
they-
camp.
They're like quality of life is nicer than mine most days.
It's incredibly nice.
I know.
They get stuff all the time.
Quote a dear friend of mine: "I was born in the wrong generation.
I should have been born in World War One.
Should have been born in France in
yeah.
1898 maybe.
Dear God, I better not have been just general infantry.
What age? You'd have to be older to be able to get to that
You have to be
general.
born like 1880s.
1880s, and you have to be right in the military. You'd have to
From
be
day
like,
one.
yeah, but you'd
And
live
your
a good
parents
life.
would have to be military officers as well.
Oh yeah, because it's fucking that time.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh shit. So if I had a genie, I know what my 3 wishes are.
Yeah,
France,
definitely.
1880.
Would you
military
rather
family.
be a Kirk Douglas, like a Paths of Glory, or
Mhm.
this guy with the blonde hair?
Blonde guy.
Yeah,
Without a doubt, dude.
Kirk
What is
Douglas
that
has
question?
That's true. I mean,
That
it wasn't very
guy-
hard.
That is the most.
But Kirk Douglas, he takes down the system a little bit. I mean, he doesn't succeed.
Does he? I don't remember. How does it work?
So he's like a lawyer.
Yeah.
This is we will be talking about this movie as well. It's another
Fuck it.
Criterion.
It's like
But-
our professor says, leaving breadcrumbs.
Yeah,
For our
exactly.
loyal viewers.
It's gonna be like
listeners.
in 100,000
Yeah.
weeks. But
Yeah.
in that movie, he's like a lawyer and he's trying to defend
Paths of Glory.
these. Yeah, in
Yeah,
Paths
yeah,
of Glory,
yeah.
he's trying to defend these guys. But then he does end up getting rid of like the officer who
Okay.
called for the trial. Like, I mean, the three guys still get executed. But
That's
spoiler alert.
That seems rough.
Yeah. What do you think of spoilers generally? Because I mean, we're
Yeah,
By
it's
fundamentally,
coming up
we're-
on 100 years for Grand Illusion, so we should be good. But I think
Yeah.
we could at least say
But-
like
yeah for future movies. I mean, we spoiled Seven Samurai.
and Paths of Glory.
Yeah.
and
I'm sure
what
we
else
will
can I
for a
spoil?
lot
In
of movies.
Avatar, the sun dies.
Yep. I was like, what son?
Let's
I
get it
only
done.
remembered his one Sigourney
Let's
Weaver
get it
daughter.
done.
Let's go done.
Who we got? Any Avatar heads out there?
No, there are no Avatar
Whoop, whoop.
heads. No Avatar
I hear the
heads.
noise. Okay, Grand Illusion.
Yeah.
I liked it though.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Not something I got a lot out of, but it's something I'm like, yo, I see its place.
Oh yeah, I like that one part where, as the two guys are escaping or whatever, they get shot at by the German officer,
Yeah.
and the German is like, "Oh, I was aiming for your legs."
Yeah,
It's
he just gets
awesome.
gut shot.
Yeah,
I will say that's a pretty great scene though when he passes away.
Yep.
It's very poignant.
it is very.
You know?
But it's still
It's
funny
like-
that it's like he wasn't even going for the.
How did I see
It
this?
wasn't
It's a
brutal.
film about human relationships above is what the letterboxers say. And
Yeah.
I appreciate those parts. Like just those two guys coming together when they're like out in the Switzerlands, not quite Switzerland, still
They're
Germany.
trying to find. Yeah.
And they're like fighting and he like leaves him and you just have that shot of him there like all cold, but then he comes back and it's like, oh, you guys are buddies.
Yeah, and then I think that point is also highlighted by when they go to the house and
They just
talking
become
to the
her
German
two
lady.
husbands.
Yeah. they're in a throuple. It's such a
Yeah.
nice little throuple.
It is so sweet. They celebrate
Yeah.
like
I
Christmas
wrote that.
together.
I said, "What a wonderful polyamorous
I
relationship these
know,
people have."
It's so sweet.
It's so sweet, and they
But
celebrate.
the guy
Christmas
who
and-
gets with her can't even speak to her really.
No, yeah.
So it's all about communication and relationships
Yeah.
and kind of like
Well,
the
and,
strain war
you know,
puts
the
on
idea that love
transcends.
transcends language, and all you need to have is a really cool head of hair.
That's true. He
He's
does
got
look
good
pretty
hair
sick.
through the whole thing.
He does look pretty
He's
sick.
like he's in a lot of French movies, I think.
Yeah?
Honestly. He's kind of like one
What's
of
his
their like
name?
stars. I don't remember.
a 1930s French star. Huh?
Yeah,
You love to see it.
it seems like a neglected period in film history to me. At least.
1930s French?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Would you not agree with that? Because everybody talks about new wave and avant-garde stuff.
I'm sure it's there. I'm sure we're just a little uneducated.
We
'Cause
are,
John, because I read.
but we're still more educated than like 99.9% of people. Like on this
Soundbite
topic.
it. Soundbite
On
it.
this topic,
I love
you
that.
know? I'm
Weird.
just saying.
I know you meant, but that sounded awesome.
I know. I don't mean to say that we're like smart or anything.
That should be
We
the
just
tagline of this podcast.
We're smarter than 99.
No, I know what you mean. Like,
Yeah.
This is. It's
This
not.
is a niche that we know
It
a
is
lot
niche,
about.
Yeah, like film history, 1930s French cinema.
Yeah.
It is a niche, right?
Yeah.
And I don't even know. We'll do a little bit of research.
This is why we're gonna have Jake as our producer. He should
I
have
know.
been in the background doing research for
Is Jake
us.
gonna be a good producer?
No,
No, he's gonna just bump it.
he's
and
gonna
be
keep
like,
giving us weed.
yeah. Oh, that'd be awesome. Though, just seeing it'll be an art piece, you guys.
Yeah, for the Jake episodes, those will be fun. I only have 2 microphones though, so I don't know how that's gonna work.
Mike sent you a chat.
What'd he say?
We'll get to that in a second. I'm
Okay.
looking at the other films of director Jean Renoir. How do you pronounce that? His
Je ne parle français pas.
Fuck. That sounds good.
Oui.
Oui.
Je suis un
Yeah, he
Canadien.
directed The Rules of the Game 1939.
Okay.
Day in the Country 1946. The River 1951. Bordeaux Saved from Drowning 1932. So this guy was carrying 30s French cinema.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good looking director.
That is a good looking director.
We'll throw that up
looks
on the
like a
screen
guy
for
who
you
would
guys.
have an eye patch.
He kind of looks like Hitchcock.
Are we gonna put this on YouTube? Throw something up on screen?
He looks like YouTube. What are these hats called?
Like a
My dad
what's it
wears
called? Like
these
a
hats.
newspaper?
Yeah, like a newspaper
page
boy's
boy
hat.
cap? Yeah, or something.
He looks like Hitchcock wearing those with a little
does.
less chin action.
Yeah, he's got a very smooth face.
I expected him to be like a hot twink, I guess. I don't know.
Like the main,
I always imagine French directors be hot twinks.
like Godard.
Like Godard.
Yeah.
Was Godard a hot twink, Sam?
I think Godard's a bit of a twink. He made a cameo in the movie that we watched last night.
I was not paying attention during that part.
The silent film part. We watched Cleo 5 to 7. See?
That's a twink.
Godard is...
Fuck the
Rest
shit
in
out of
peace,
that.
Godard.
Rip, by the way.
Hasn't even been like...
It hasn't even been like half a year yet. That was crazy.
I'm sure when we get to a Godard movie, we'll have a lot to say.
I know. I think I might. I don't
It's
know.
weird. I don't know because I don't know how much I want to talk about like other things, not like other movies. I meant that are like in the collection. What am I gonna do?
Yeah. Guy just like my RoboCop 3 review, so we're walking
sick.
pretty. Did
That's
you even
sick.
like that, Sam?
I don't think I even saw your RoboCop 3 review.
Dude.
Let me read. I'll read it on the pod.
Oh, you did.
Should we shout out our letterboxes?
Oh, of course, dude. I'm only in this for the letterbox
Yeah.
followers.
Yeah.
I also kind of want to make some art for the cast.
Oh,
Brainstorm.
that would be awesome. Because
Mm.
yeah, we should brainstorm our next project as well.
I need drugs for creation.
I think that it'll
don't
help.
have the power for it within myself.
I think I can do things sober. We're doing this sober.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
guys, let's go.
We don't need drugs.
Oh, I'm such an alcoholic.
Oh, such an alcoholic.
Tell me, like, what do you guys want from
I would.
us?
I don't even think I would recommend it. I think there's better movies that you
I'd
should watch
recommend
first.
it if you're into 1937 French film. If you're a war guy, sure.
Yeah, I think if you've only seen like war
Okay,
movies,
if you're a cinema guy, yeah, watch this.
yeah, but if you're just a casual viewer, I don't think that this is necessary for like.
When we mean casual viewer, is that someone who's actively into cinema?
That's someone who like watches movies. Will like put a movie on.
Oh yeah, definitely not then.
Yeah,
I don't
but, like,
even know if
isn't-
I would recommend them Seven Samurai, honestly.
Really.
I
Okay,
don't
well
know.
we'll get there next week.
Seven Samurai, what did you think?
Yeah,
Oh,
we're gonna talk about it now. I haven't seen it for
And
like.
here's the most pertinent
6
question
years.
of the cast. Do you own this Criterion?
I do not own this Criterion. Will you buy this Criterion? That should be the
Ooh.
end. That's a good question.
No.
No,
but
as well.
the cover is so dope that I'd consider it.
I would buy the
If I
laser
was in
disc of
Barnes
this.
and Noble, I would look at it. And
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'd go.
When I was in Barnes and Noble in the States in November, they had the 50% off sale when I was there. My hands were like shaking.
I know, dude.
'Cause-
I become a little junkie, bro.
They're just like surrounded. They surround you with it.
Yeah.
I wish we
know.
had them here in
I
Canada.
know, dude. It wouldn't be good though. And you're saying next Tuesday?
I get excited just at sunrise.
Next
with the, like,
Tuesday
20.
it's happening.
I'm pretty sure next Tuesday will be the
Guys, mark
Criterion
the
50% off.
calendars.
You already own Seven Sam. Oh, not gonna spoil it. Not gonna
I
spoil it.
Don't know. What,
We're
I don't
gonna
know
find
what
out.
you just asked
We're gonna
me.
find out.
You have a pretty good collection. How many you got here?
I'm not sure.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14,
15.
15? No.
Well, you have one of mine right now.
Oh yeah, 15.
Yeah.
No, that's a pretty solid. Pretty solid connection there, my guy.
Yeah, I think so. I think
I've been
I like the
collecting
ones that I
for-
have as well.
I've been collecting for a very long time.
I have been collecting for since I've known you.
Really? Did I start this for
Yes, you did.
you? Dude, you're welcome.
I knew about Criterion, but I hadn't
What
considered
caused you to
buying any.
like convert
that first 50% off sale.
and that I sent you?
Yeah, and
Damn, dude.
that's where I bought my first ones. I bought
How
a
thankful
number
are
of
you?
films. Well, I spent a lot of money.
Yeah, this is like. Have you bought all these during the half off? That'd be like
No.
a good chunk of money, dude.
Yeah, a lot of these I was able to find.
They're so sick though. They're actually like, they're toys, man. They're toys for
I
like,
do-
adults.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to be a real adult
Buy
living
my
in like
Criterions.
an actual place that has shelves.
Yeah.
You'd have
Oh,
a shelf
dude, that's my
of
dream.
Criterions.
When I grow up, I'm gonna have my shelves of Criterions. I'm gonna have my shelf of Dune
That's why we're doing this podcast
to get rich
To
and
get rich
famous.
and to get
Because our
invited on.
charisma. Oh yeah, we should talk about our mission statement.
Yeah.
Criterion has their mission statement. I can pull it up for you right now.
Do it.
The Criterion Collection is dedicated to gathering the greatest films around the world and publishing them in the editions of the highest technical quality, with supplemental features that enhance the appreciation of the art of film. Visit us at Criterion.com. That's from the Repo Man edition.
Yeah. And so we're trying to basically say
We want on.
we want to be on. We want to be in the collection.
Oh, this is such a scuff setup sound.
Okay, well you made it more scuffed.
You don't even have them resting against something. You just have them.
Well,
Oh.
normally they're all like all the pressure puts them all together.
I don't like it though. It makes me nervous.
What do you put them? How do you organize yours?
Well,
Do you go by number or by
Yeah,
title?
of course.
Okay.
Number.
Yeah, number.
Of course, you have to do number.
I love that they're numbered. I don't know.
I know. They're so nice, and they have their all their stats on them.
Yeah.
Like, I love this for Repo Man. Blu-ray edition, 1984, 92 minutes, color, monaural, 1.78 to 1 aspect ratio. So
My TV that I watched Repo Man was fucked up, and the aspect ratio kept like it wouldn't get out of 16:9.
oh damn.
So I was a little chuffed.
Love Repo Man, by the way.
Repo Man's great.
We'll get there in 653 episodes.
I know there's so
we'll
many.
get to Good Morning in
That's the
80,
thing.
83. Rashomon in 137. Get hyped.
Everybody get hyped in 10 years.
We'll see.
Well, it's more than 10 years.
We'll see how this works.
It's 20 years.
Fuck, dude. That's not good. I want to.
We have to do these every day.
We do. No, I'm thinking this. We could do this weekly.
I think we could do this more than weekly.
Bi-weekly?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Shout out.
Yeah. Okay. Should we end it up? And
How long is it?
I think we're at like half an hour.
Do you have anything else to say? Or I can keep going.
I think. Well, do you have anything else to say?
Grand Illusion. Good.
Good. Do you want to do a call in to somebody? And
Yeah, we'll do a call in.
okay. Do you think Jake's awake?
Yeah. It's always been a dream of mine to do a podcast, funnily enough. I don't know. I just love talking.
I love talking to you, and something about having the microphone
I
in front of you helps
know.
it so much.
It gets me going.
I'm gonna call Nick if Jake doesn't pick up.
Nick will be good.
Yeah.
Well, you ask Nick. What
I'm
do
gonna ask what movie he recommends.
Oh, yeah. And ask
Okay,
him if
Jake's
he's
not picking
seen
up.
of Grand Illusion.
Yeah, that 2 questions.
He's seen Grand Illusion. And Nick, what film do you recommend to the people at home?
Jake's calling me. Hi, Jake.
Oh,
I'm here
hi.
with Ethan on Critterpit podcast, and we just
The
have
very
one
first.
question. Have you seen the
2
movie The
questions.
Grand Illusion?
I have not.
And what movie would you recommend?
To the viewers.
Sing 2.
What?
Thing 2.
Thing 2?
I'm sorry, Jake. That's not a film
That's
that
not a film.
exists.
We lost him.
Damn, that's crazy.
He just said Thing 2.
Fuck. Guys,
I'm not
I
sure.
wanted to get a nice little letterbox list of all the Critterpit guest recommendations.
Yeah.
I guess
There's probably a movie called Thing
if
2.
we had to theorize, it's probably the 1982 masterpiece of Thing 2.
He means the
because in
No, no.
chronological order, that's the Thing 2, dude.
that I guess, but I think he means the prequel.
I don't think he'd do that.
he means the third movie to be named The Thing to be released.
Why would he do that? Because it's directly connected to the Thing.
I think so.
Because it's the second the Thing.
What's the third The Thing?
No, because the first the Thing is the Thing from another world.
Oh, right. Is it The Thing from Another World or The Thing from Outer Space? The Thing from Outer Space, I think, is a better name.
I think it's the Thing from another world, but I
Okay.
will fact check myself because I don't believe in lying.
We should add The Thing to the Criterion collection. We should.
Oh, yeah. It is a pretty hard to find film.
Well, I have it. It's right up there on DVD. I think I bought it for $4.97 at
Fig?
our local Sunrise Records.
The Thing from Another World.
It is okay. That's not a bad title.
Yeah.
Anyway, this has been the first episode of the Critterpit podcast.
Yeah, this has been Ethan.
And this has been Sam.
Bye.
Bye.